So I never know what area I'm going to get excited about. It just happens. You see something, you don't like it, you think it should be better, you go into it. I don't care. There's one project I wish I could tell you about. It has nothing to do, well, as a number of them did, nothing to do with sound at all. I'll tell you. Don't tell anyone. I'll just tell you a peek at it. It has to do with automobiles, but absolutely nothing to do with sound.
Project Sound was an attempt to realize a dream that Dr. Bose had to have an automobile that would handle like a sports car but be as comfortable as a luxury car. And so his vision was to do this with control systems and use computer algorithms to do intelligent things with the suspension instead of just using shocks and springs.
I went in there and I started talking to him about the problem. I said, you know, this is really, really hard, which was, for me, code word for impossible. And he said, good. And I said, good? What do you mean? I'm saying this is really, really hard. He says, good, because when we solve it, we'll have something really valuable.
It was a really crazy idea, but when you saw demonstrations of it, or once I got to drive it, it was amazing, right? You could see, yes, there are real benefits to customers here. And even though you might be skeptical about some of these things having commercial possibilities, you still felt proud that research came up with such an amazing idea.
Dr. Bose was thinking, I'm going to go head and shoulders above the best luxury car. So start with the best there is, and then make it that much better. And I thought, why don't we also provide a really big benefit for people who are driving around in vehicles that have a terrible ride, like trucks.
You can ask any truck driver. They've been on roads where they beat you up pretty good.
You get out the end of the day, stretch out, hear your back just crack.
What if we could downsize the technology to the point where we could just float the driver in a big commercial truck? There were a lot of steps along the way where we had to learn about the problem, the drivers. We had to be able to commercialize it in the way that is, make it small enough so it would fit, a lot of practical considerations. We had four drivers trial the prototype, and the feedback was over the top. I mean, they were just blown away. But one of these guys was an older gentleman who said that he could cancel his chiropractor appointments on the weekends because his back didn't bother him. We had people say they didn't have to spend a day on the couch recovering. They could play with the kids. I mean, this was a life-changing thing that we hadn't imagined.
It's a nice, smooth ride, takes all the vibration out of the road. You don't get beat up like an air ride seat.
I didn't take the beating that I did before and didn't feel like that I was whooped, you know, after a 10-hour stretch.
And that was when the company said, you know, we really need to go ahead and invest in this because there's an experience that's really compelling. Well, I certainly didn't think that I'd be doing truck seats when I came to work at Bose.